Hey everyone, it's our lecture 9 and in this lecture we will discuss about the transport in animals. So if we talk about the objectives, in this lecture we will discuss about the transport in animals, heart, we will talk about blood vessels and lymphatic vessels, and we will also discuss about blood. So these are the objectives of today's lecture. Now firstly we will discuss about the circulatory system. What is circulatory system? So it is the main transport system of the humans. It is a system of tubes, blood vessels with a pump which is known as heart and the valves to ensure one-way flow of the blood. So circulatory system is a system of tubes, pump and valves to ensure one-way flow of the blood. If we discuss about the functions of the circulatory system, then circulatory system transport the nutrients and oxygen to the cells. It also removes the waste and carbon dioxide from the cells. And circulatory system provides efficient gas exchange. So these are the functions of circulatory system. Now we will discuss about the circulation in different animals. Single circulation of the fish. So fish is an animal in which there is a single circulation. Fish have a two-chambered heart and a single circulation. Why it is called the single circulation? Because the blood goes through the heart once for each complete circulation of the body. And this system is inefficient. Why it is inefficient? Because blood pressure is lost when the blood passes through the capillaries in the gills. So fish is an animal in which there is two-chambered heart and single circulation. If we talk about the double circulation, then mammals have the double circulation. Mammals have four-chambered heart and double circulation. So double circulation means for every one circuit of the body, the blood passes through the heart twice. And we already know that the right side of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body and pumps it into the lungs, and this type of circulation is known as pulmonary circulation. While the left side of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it into the body, and this is known as systemic circulation. As in this diagram we can see that there is a pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So if we talk about the pulmonary circulation, then we will discuss about the right side of the heart. So in the right side of the heart there is the flow of the deoxygenated blood. So right side of the heart receive the deoxygenated blood from the heart and pump it into the lungs, while the left side of the heart receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs and it then passes it into the capillary bursts or the all body tissues. So what is the importance of a double circulation? So oxygenated blood is kept separated from the deoxygenated blood in double circulation. So the septums in the heart ensure this complete separation. So in the heart there is a complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Second function is that the blood pressure in the systemic circulation is kept higher than that in pulmonary circulation. we'll discuss about the heart. So heart is an organ that pumps the blood through the circulatory system to all the major organs of the body. So the right side pumps blood to the lungs and the left side pumps blood to the rest of the body. And as we know that the right side receives the deoxygenated blood while the left side receives the oxygenated blood, and then left side pumps to the rest of the body. So this table is showing the structure of the heart. If we talk about the muscular wall, then the wall of the left ventricle is much thicker than the right ventricle because it needs to build up the enough pressure to move the blood to all the main organs. Septum completely separated the chambers on the left hand side and the ones on the right hand side. So septum completely separates the blood and it separates the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, and it prevents the mixing of these two. So if we talk about the chambers, then the two atria are present in the heart, right atrium and left atrium. They receive the blood from the veins and squeeze it into the ventricles. There are two ventricles in the heart, right ventricle and left ventricle. They receive the blood from the atria and squeeze it into the arteries. Valves are the semilunar, tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Associated blood vessels are the vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary aorta. So this diagram is showing the structure of the heart. It is the right side of the heart and it is the left side of the heart. So in the left side there is a flow of the oxygenated blood, and in the right side there is a flow of deoxygenated blood. Here we can see the pulmonary artery, vena cava, right atrium. It is the heart wall, and this is the right ventricle. Here is the it is the left ventricle and it is the left atrium. This is the pulmonary vein and aorta. Now we will discuss about the valves of the heart. So heart contains valves that prevent the blood flowing backwards. The right side has a tricuspid valve. What is tricuspid valve? It is a valve with three flaps. While the left side has a bicuspid valve, a valve with two flaps. So both of these sides have semilunar valves at the entrance to the pulmonary artery and aorta. So semilunar valves are present at the entrance of pulmonary artery and aorta. So in pumping the blood, the muscles in the walls of the atria and ventricle contracts and relaxes. The atrial wall contracts first and it forces the blood into the ventricles. Then the ventricles contract and send blood into the arteries. So walls prevents the blood flowing backwards during or after the heart contractions. So the activity of the heart can be monitored by ECG, which is known as electrocardiogram, pulse rate, and also the heart sound. And heart sound can be detected by using a stethoscope. So a lub-dub sound is produced and it is caused by the closure of the valves. Now we will discuss the effect of physical activity on the heart rate. What is the effect of physical activities on the heart rate? So at rest the heart beats about 70 times a minute, but it varies according to age, gender and fitness. So if there is an increase in the physical activity, then increases the pulse rate up to 200 beats per minute. But after the exercise has stopped, the pulse rate gradually drops to its resting state. The rate depends on the fitness of the person. So during exercise, the muscle cells needs more energy than usual. They transfer energy to respire more, and as a consequence need more oxygen and glucose, and they produce more waste and carbon dioxide. So if the muscle does not get enough oxygen, it will start to respire anaerobically, producing the lactic acid, which causes the muscle fatigue leading to cramps. What are the coronary heart diseases? So the coronary arteries supply blood to the heart muscles, and these may become blocked by a build-up of fatty plaque containing the cholesterol. So it results in the coronary heart diseases. Coronary heart disease are caused when coronary arteries are blocked by a build-up of fatty plaque. So if a coronary artery is blocked, the blood supply to the part of the heart muscles is cut off. That part of the heart cannot continue to contract, and it causes a heart attack. So the coronary artery results eventually in the heart attack. Coronary artery diseases results in heart attacks. What are the causes of coronary artery diseases? It is caused by lack of exercise, diet high in fat and cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, genetics, stress, and smoking. How we can prevent the coronary artery diseases? So if we eat a healthy and well balanced diet, we can prevent it, doing exercise and improving our lifestyle. What is the treatment of coronary artery diseases? So treatment include the regular dose of aspirin, angioplasty and stent is also the treatment of coronary artery diseases, and bypass surgery is also a treatment. So these three are the treatments of coronary artery diseases. Now we will discuss about the blood vessels. We will discuss the structure and functions. Firstly, there are three types of blood vessels. These are known as artery, veins and capillaries. So arteries have the thick, tough wall with muscles, elastic fibers and fibrous tissues. Lumen quite narrow but increases as a pulse of the blood passes through. Valves are absent. So arteries carries the blood at higher pressure, prevents the bursting and maintains the pressure wave. This helps to maintain the blood pressure. High pressure prevents the blood flowing backwards. If we talk about the veins have the thin wall, mainly fibrous tissues with little muscles or elastic fibers. The lumen is large and valves are present. It carries the blood at low pressure, reduces the resistance to the blood flow and prevents the backflow of the blood. While capillaries, permeable walls, 1 cell thick with no muscle or elastic tissues, lumen approximately 1 red blood cell wide, and valves are absent, and it allows the diffusion of materials between the capillaries and surrounding tissues, and blood is still under pressure. What are arterioles and venules? So as arteries divide more as they get further away from the heart, they get narrower. The narrow vessels that connect arteries to the capillaries are known as arterioles, while the veins also get narrower at the further away from the heart. So the narrow vessels that connect capillaries to the veins are called the venules. What is lymphatic system? The lymphatic system is formed from a series of the tubes which flow from the tissue back to the heart. So the fluid in the lymphatic vessels is known as lymph. Lymphatic system connects with the blood system near the heart where lymph fluid is returned to the blood plasma. So lymph nodes are the smaller clusters of lymphatic tissues, and these are found throughout the lymphatic system, especially in the neck and armpits. Large number of lymphocytes are found in the lymph nodes. The tissue associated with the lymphatic system, such as bone marrow, produce these lymphocytes. So lymphocytes play an important role in the defending of the body against the infections. Now we will discuss about the blood. Firstly, we will talk about the components of the blood. So, if we talk about the components of the blood, then blood is divided into the plasma and some cells which are known as red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. So if we talk about the blood, then blood contains 55% of the plasma. So in the blood there is 55% of plasma is present, while blood contains the cells, and these cells are 45%. These cells include red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. As in this diagram we can see that there is a 55% of plasma in the blood and 45% of the cells, which are red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. So here we can see the plasma in the diagram. This one is the red blood cell. It is showing the white blood cells, and here platelets are present. So this is about the cells. Red blood consists of red blood cells, white blood cells, and it also contains the platelets and plasma. Now we will discuss about the component and structure of the blood. So blood have the following four components: red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and plasma. If we talk about the structure of red blood cells, these are the biconcave disc, contains no nucleus but plenty of the protein hemoglobin. So in red blood cells there is no nucleus but enough or plenty of the protein hemoglobin. White blood cells are the large cells. They contain a big nucleus. Different types have the slightly different structures and functions. So white blood cells contain a big nucleus and have different functions under different conditions. Platelets are the fragments of the cells. So what are the fragments of the cells? Fragments of the cells are known as platelets. Plasma are the straw colored liquid. So in this diagram we can see that there is the red blood cells. These are red blood cells, white blood cells. These are the white blood cells, and we also found the platelets, and here we can see the platelets. These one are the platelets, these are the red blood cells, and there is the white blood cells, which are this, and this area is showing. Blood clotting. What is blood clotting and which part of the blood perform the blood clotting? So when the skin is broken, there is a wound. Platelets arrive to stop the bleeding. So a series of the reactions occur within the blood plasma, and platelet releases the chemicals that causes soluble fibrinogen proteins to convert it into the insoluble fibrin. So platelet releases some chemicals that causes the soluble fibrinogen protein to convert it into the fibrin. it is a form of an insoluble type across the wound, and it traps the red blood cells and therefore forming a clot. So eventually the clot dries and develops into a scab, and it protects the wound from the bacterial infections, and it prevents the entry of the bacteria to the wound. So this is the phenomena of the blood clotting. So this is all about the lecture. In this lecture we have discussed about the transport in animals. We talked about the blood vessels and lymphatic vessels, and we also discussed the blood cells, red blood cells, and white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. I hope this lecture helped you to understand the topic, and we will back with new lecture in few days. Subscribe to this channel and pause. So that's all about the lecture. In this lecture, we have discussed about the transport in animals. We also talked about the blood vessels and lymphatic vessels, and we have also discussed about the blood, in which we describe about the red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. We also discussed the phenomena of the blood clotting. We also discussed the circulation, double circulation and single circulation. Single circulation happens in the fish, and double circulation is found in the mammals. And we also describe it in details with diagrams. I hope it helps you to understand the topic clearly. Be with us with future videos and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for your attention and time.